Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me tonight. My name is Miranda Yousif. I'm currently a student at Arizona State University studying microbiology, and I am a community health facilitator in training with HEAL International. So I just want to take the time to talk to you all about HIV tonight and have a roughly 5 to 7 minute conversation about sexual health and HIV treatment. So if at any point, I know that when we're speaking about HIV and sexual health, I know it can be a really uneasy topic for some of us. So if at any point you feel the need to get up or use the restroom, grab a drink of water, please feel free to do so, because I want to create as comfortable of an environment as possible. So with that said, restrooms are out to your left, water fountains are out to your right. Questions are encouraged. Please feel free to ask me questions at any point. If you don't feel comfortable asking questions in a larger group setting, I will be here after to answer questions. So please feel free to find me and ask questions. If you do feel the need to get up and excuse yourself, I will happily fill you in on anything you missed afterwards as well. So with that said, can I please just get a raise of hands that if you can agree to keep everything that we speak about in the room and keep it confidential, please raise your hand if you can agree to that. Great, thank you so much to everyone who participated in that. Just so you all know, some people did not raise their hands and did not agree to this confidentiality. So some things that we may speak about, such as your questions, comments, concerns, might not be kept confidential. But again, thank you so much to everyone who did agree to that. So with that said, let's just jump right into it. Does anyone know what HIV stands for? Excuse me. No? So HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. It's a virus that affects cells of the immune system, which is the part of our body that helps fight off infections and keeps us healthy. So does anyone know of the cure for HIV? No, so currently there is no cure anywhere in the world for HIV, but there are fantastic treatments. But in order to have access to these treatments, so an individual has to get tested and test positive to have access to these treatments if needed. So we say, get tested, know your status, and get access to life-saving treatment if needed. Regarding this treatment, so if an individual tests positive for HIV, their physician will prescribe them medication that they have to be on for the rest of their life, and they have to take. It's recommended that they take this medication every day for the rest of their life, as prescribed by their physician. Otherwise, they run the risk of developing a drug-resistant virus. So at this point, I'd like to stop and ask, because I know I covered a lot of material. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns at all? No, great. So again, so I'd just like to reiterate, we say, get tested, know your status, and get access to life-saving treatment if needed. So for an individual who tests HIV positive, not only do they get access to life-saving treatment that it's recommended that they take every day for the rest of their life as prescribed to prevent getting, excuse me, I blanked for a moment. That it's recommended that they take as prescribed to prevent building up a drug-resistant virus. But it also lowers the risk that they may transmit the virus to an HIV negative person. And this scenario might be mother to child, blood to blood, or through unprotected sex. So these are very powerful medications. This treatment is very powerful. It can have very strong side effects. That's why we also say, that's why it's recommended that individuals who do test positive, individuals who have access to this medication, individuals who test positive or individuals who have access to this medication take the medication as prescribed. On that note, I'd also like to mention that we have some anti-HIV medication known as PrEP and PEP. So for PrEP, it's known as pre-exposure prophylaxis, which an individual can take 48 to 72 hours but to reduce the risk, if they're a high-risk population, to reduce the risk of HIV transmission. And then PEP is post-exposure prophylaxis, which an individual can take if they fear that they've been exposed to HIV. So, at this point, I'd like to stop and ask, does anyone have any questions? No, great. So I'd just like to reiterate that I know we went over a lot of material, but I'd like to reiterate that we say get tested, know your status, and get access to life-saving treatment if needed. And like I went over, this treatment for HIV-positive individuals is very powerful medication, but not only does it give an HIV-positive person the chance to live a long and healthy life, it also reduces the risk that they might transmit the virus to an HIV-negative person. So again, get tested, know your status, get access to life-saving medication if needed. Thank you so much, and if you have any questions, please feel free to find me afterwards. Thank you so much.